إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Azza wa Jalla who has prolonged our life till this moment. Today being the 18th day of Ramadan, 1445 after the hijrah of our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Makkah to Medina, which correspond to the 28th day of March year 2024. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He continue to increase all of us in taqwa, in beneficial knowledge, and in good provision as well. We have been looking at Suratul Ahzab, and for 3 days we digress a bit to discuss the concept of jihad, so that we will be enlightened as regards what it means. Because today the concept of jihad has been bastardized by the ignoramus, and unfortunately not many people are speaking about this particular subject, which even make it worse. So when you enlighten the people, then they will understand what it is and what it is not. So that when they are faced with a situation, then they will be able to find a way out of that situation. So that whatever they are going to be doing will be based on basira, not based on what their mind instructed them. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He make us among those people whom Allah Azza wa Jalla has granted the understanding of this deen. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He loves somebody, then He grants him the understanding of the deen. Man yuridillahu bihi khayran yufaqihu fi din. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant us the understanding of the deen. So we will return back to our Suratul Ahzab. Pick your Quran. Where we stopped last time was verse 24, where we are still discussing the battle of Ahzab. And we said that there are people who affirm what they had with Allah Azza wa Jalla as regards covenant. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ قَضَى نَحْبَهُ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَظِرُ. Some had already fulfilled their pledge, while from amongst them are those who are still waiting, hoping that Allah Azza wa Jalla answered their prayer, seeking for shaheed, martyrdom. وَمَا بَدَّلُوا تَبْدِيلًا. And they never change. There was never a time where they begin to have a change of thoughts. And that is because they are true to their promise. Allah Azza wa Jalla now told us the reason for this particular battle, why Allah Azza wa Jalla made all what that happened in this battle to happen. He said, لِيَجِزِيَ اللَّهُ الصَّادِقِينَ بِصِدْقِهِمْ. So that Allah Azza wa Jalla will reward those who are truthful for their truthfulness, وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ إِنْ شَاءَ أَوْ يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ. And so that Allah Azza wa Jalla will punish the munafiqun if they wish, if He wishes. أَوْ يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ, or if Allah Azza wa Jalla wish, He will forgive them. And I've already told you that Allah will only forgive them if they repent in this dunya before the akhirah. Because if they are upon their nifaq and they return back to Allah Azza wa Jalla, then definitely they will be in the deepest part of hellfire. Innal munafiqina fi darkil asfali minan nar. So the munafiqun, they will abide in the deepest part of hell. So inshallah ta'ala, we shall move from that point where Allah continued to discuss this battle. وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ورد الله الذين كفروا بغيظهم لم ينالوا خيرا. ورد الله الذين كفروا بغيظهم لم ينالوا خيرا وكفى الله المؤمنين القتال وكان الله غفورا رحيما.
ورد الله الذين كفروا بغيظهم لم ينالوا خيرا وكفى الله المؤمنين القتال وكان الله قويا عزيزا.
Allah Azza wa Jalla, He continued telling us this will be coming to the end of the Battle of Ahzab, the narration of the Battle of Ahzab in this surah. Allah said, وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِغَيْظِهِمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He repelled. وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِغَيْظِهِمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He repelled those who disbelieved in their rage, in their anger. He repelled them. أي أرجع الله الأحزاب بسبب كفرهم. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He returned the people of Ahzab. Those are the confederates, those people who come together and ally together in order to finish the Islamic state of Medina. Allah Azza wa Jalla returned them. He repelled their attack. بِسَبَبِ كُفْرِهِمْ, as a result of their kufr, وَظُلْمِهِمْ, as a result of their oppression, وَإِقْتِدَائِهِمْ, as a result of their transgression. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He repelled the attack. وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِغَيْظِهِمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He repelled the attack and they were enraged. بِغَيْظِهِمْ أي مُعْتَزِينَ مَقْهُورِينَ. They were totally embarrassed and they were defeated. They were disappointed. لِهَيْبَتِهِمْ, as a result of their failure to achieve what they come to achieve. وَعَدَمُ تَحْقِيقِ مُرَادِهِمْ. They were unable to actualize their goal. What is their goal? Their goal was to come and finish the Muslims in Medina, to put an end. And that is why they mobilized a large army to come and do that job. But they could not even enter Medina. Allahu Akbar. These people could not even step leg inside Medina. They were not expecting that the Muslims are going to dig trench around Medina. مَا أَصَابَهُم مِّنَ الشِّدَّةِ وَالنَّصَبِ وَالْمَشَقَّةِ فِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ. This is also together with what afflicted them of harm. What afflicted them of harm, difficulties, and even tiredness, loss in their wealth, because they only came to Medina to come and eat. And their food ration was already it was already getting shortened because they could not achieve what they come to achieve. And even some of them died as a result of the fact that at every point in time they want to enter Medina, they were met with what passed defense from the Muslims. Some of them tried to cross the trench, the Handak, and they were met with resistance and they were shot. So some of them died. يريدون القضاء على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وما ذلك حصل لهم التعب والإناء والجوع والبلاء. They wish to come and finish the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. They wanted to kill him. And despite that, Allah Azza wa Jalla, instead of Allah Azza wa Jalla granting them their wish, what do they gain? They only gain fatigue. They became tired as a result of the fact that they couldn't enter Medina. They became tired and hunger began to pepper them. Hunger. Because the food they come with, they were thinking that they would just come to Medina, finish with Medina and quickly return back. So they were not expecting to spend that kind of time. They spent almost a month besieging Medina. So Allah afflicted them with hunger and affliction. وَآخِرُ الْأَمْرِ أَنْ رَجَعُوا هَارِبِينَ. And the ending result of this matter is that they returned back defeated. They were disappointed. They could not achieve what they come to achieve. وَلَا شَكَّ أَنَّ مِثْلَ هَذَا سَوْفَ يُؤَثِّرُ عَلَى الْإِنسَانِ. So there is no doubt that this kind of affair, this kind of matter could have a very great effect on the mind of anybody. You want to go and achieve something, after several trials, you could not achieve it. So it's going to have effect on you. فَسَوْفَ يَمْلَأُ الْقَلْبِهِ غَيْظًا وَحَسْرَةً وَنَدَمًا. So their heart were soon to be what? To be filled with rage, anger, because they could not achieve what they come to achieve. So they were so much in anger. And they were in loss, total loss. Some of them begin to even regret why they even come to attack Medina. They begin to regret. كيف يأتي بهذا الجيش الذي جمع له وأمد فيه وأجر الأمر أن ينقلب ولا يكون معركة. They were regretting that how could they come with this mighty army that they have gathered. Several factions come together in order to come and finish just small Medina. And they could not. And at the end of the day, they even returned back without even engaging the Muslims. There was no war. I mean, there was no physical combat. Because they could not cross into Medina. وَلِهَذَا قَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. It is because of this, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said, وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِغَيْظِهِمْ لَمْ يَنَالُوا خَيْرًا. He said that Allah Azza wa Jalla repelled the attack of the unbelievers, the infidels. He repelled their attack and He left them in their rage, in their anger. لَمْ يَنَالُوا خَيْرًا. They could not achieve any goodness. They could not achieve any goodness. Khayran nakira. And nakira fi siyaqin naf'i fata'am. So when Allah Azza wa Jalla is using the nakira here, it shows that they could not even achieve even if it is even 1% of achievement, they could not achieve it. Ay lam yusibu ayya khayra mahma qalb. They could not achieve any result, any good result from this battle that they came to Medina to fight. even if it were to be little. They did not achieve any result. I told you that the only Muslim who died in this battle was only one Muslim. And he did not die in the very battle. It was while they were returning back home that he died. Only one. But in their own side, many of them died. So they could not achieve anything that they set out to come and achieve. That is why Allah said, Lam yanalu khayra. They could not achieve any benefit, any goodness. Min nasrin, no victory for them. Aw ghanima, and no ghanima, no war booty for them to even pick. Aw ghayra zalika, or any other achievement that somebody may achieve during war times. They could not achieve any single thing. Bal nalu haiba. What they achieved was defeat. What they achieved was loss. Khusranul mubin. A very clear loss is what they achieved. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, if you see in this particular verse, Allah systematically is informing us that He is the one who repelled the attack. That is, Allah said, وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Allah is the one who repelled the attack. لِأَنَّ رُجُوعَهُمْ لَيْسَ بِحَوْلِ النَّبِيِّ. Because they are returning back to their various locations was not by the power of the Prophet ﷺ. And it was not also by the power of the companions. It wasn't by their power, because there was no fight. So Allah Azza wa Jalla was the one who took charge of this battle. وَلَكِنَّهُ بِحَوْلِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. It was by the power of Allah Azza wa Jalla that Allah fought them Himself. وَلِهَذَا قَالَ تَعَالَى وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْكِتَابَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is sufficient for the believers in their battles. Allah is sufficient. If you trust Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is sufficient for you in your battle. However, what the enemies has gathered together to come and finish you, Allah is sufficient. وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْكِتَابَ. Allah is sufficient to fight for you. And Allah will defeat your enemy, even if you cannot even raise your hand. The people of Palestine, may Allah Azza wa Jalla send His aid to them. The different people have come together. The people of Ahzab, they have come together to finish them. To finish them, although they do not have anything. But what do they have? They have Allah Azza wa Jalla. وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْكِتَابَ. Look at it, for how many months it has been going? This is getting to 2 months now, or 3. 6 months? 6 months. And they have not won. America is there, France is there, Israel is there, and these are countries that have weapons of mass destruction. They have nuclear weapons. And they are fighting against people who are using stones. Stones. But Allah Azza wa Jalla is converting their stones into a bomb. And they are yet to be able to achieve any victory. Lam yanalu khayra. The only achievement they are able to achieve, they have been able to show to the world how uncivilized they are. Hatta even non-Muslim countries begin to even what? They begin to fight them now. Didn't you hear what is happening in the news? Some countries have taken Israel to court, International Criminal Court of Justice. Countries like even South Africa. Countries like South Africa. There are so many of them like that. They said they cannot sit down and watch this oppression. How can you be bombing hospitals? How can you be killing children? In fact, sometimes when I watch the videos that have been sent to the internet, you will not have mind that your mind will not shake. What has these children done? What have they done? So they have not achieved anything because they said they want to fight Hamas. We are yet to see how many commanders of Hamas have they killed. And the Muslims, despite what they have done, the Muslims are still in their iman. They are still standing upon their iman. Look at even little children. Despite his faces will be covered with blood, their faces are covered with blood, they will still be saying, we believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. Their tawakkul can never be measured. Is it not here in Nigeria, somebody because he has not gotten job, he will just betray Allah Azza wa Jal. He will leave Islam. But look at these people. Despite what they are doing, it's as if the more they do, they attack them, that is the more they stand by Islam. That is the more they stand by Islam. In fact, they are not crying anymore. They are happy whenever any of their family member now die, because they know that they died upon Shaheed. That is matadam. But we, Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to question us regarding what was our contribution regarding this while it was happening. While it was happening. What did we do? Individually and collectively, what did we do? We just continue to watch it over internet and that is all. Then we go back to our family as if nothing ever happened. Unfortunately, instead of us to be weeping, unfortunately, what do? We now resort to entertainment. There was one picture that came today from Saudi channel. I don't know whether you saw it. Saudi Arabia have now gotten a participant that will go to World Beauty Pageant to go and represent Saudi Arabia. In the month of Ramadan, in the month of Ramadan, as if that one is not enough, they now have a list, almost 10 lists of boxers that will be going to Saudi Kingdom to go and box. This is at the time when the Muslims are being massacred. They are being massacred in where? In Palestine. Then unfortunately again, we have some other group that claim that they are supporters of the oppressed. They said they are the supporters of the oppressed, but we did not see them in Palestine. But what did they do? They went to Afghanistan, where the Muslims are trying their best to see the little they can do after long years of war. They went there and they bombed them. And they said we should accept with them that they are the Islamic State. What is wrong with the Muslims? It is no wonder, even in our own locality, we have seen how Muslims have taken each other with envy and hate. So long it's not in my group, I have nothing to do with them. So let me see how I can pull them down. Wallahi, it is ignorance. If somebody is still standing and instead of you to keep your mouth shut if you don't have anything to say, then you will now be going against those who are defending the Palestinians. That is why Sheikh Ahmad Musa Jibril, he said in one of his lectures, he said, even though we do not agree with many fundamental issues with Hamas, but this is not the time to talk about it. Even though we do not agree with them, but this is not the time to talk about it. Because there are common enemies knocking at your door. Common enemies are knocking at your door, and your problem is Each laful ulama, you want to come and have issues and be, exactly what is happening there. We must always be there for our Muslim brothers. We must always assist them in the best way we can. We must always shun bitterness, hatred, and enviness against our Muslim brothers. Especially when the common enemy is before us. When the common enemy is before us, we will not be talking about whether Tijaniya. You understand? We will not be talking about Izala or whichever you are. What we will be talking about is what? Islam. Because that is the one that binds all of us together. It is out of stupidity and being unwise when your common enemy is standing before you, then you now, your problem is that division, that particular issue. So the scholar A said this one, scholar B said this one. That is how you people will now be disputing until your common enemy will come and wipe you. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant us understanding of this day. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said, وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْكِتَابِ. Allah is sufficient for the believers in their battles. وَأَغْنَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَأَرَاهَهُمْ وَحْدًا مِنْ كَلِفَةِ الْقِتَالِ وَمَشَقَّتِهِ. Allah Azza wa Jalla is sufficient for the believers in all of their difficulties that they are passing through. Allah is sufficient for you. You don't have to resort to other than Allah Azza wa Jalla, because any other thing other than Allah will fail you. It is only Allah you should resort to. And Allah Azza wa Jalla will grant you victory if you believe in Him. Bima arsala ala al-ahzab min ar-rihi wal malaika. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla was sufficient for the believers, that is the reason why Allah Azza wa Jalla sent to the people of Ahzab, He sent His soldiers. Which soldiers? Ar-rih. That is the wind and the angels. For saddaqa wa'ada. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He was truthful to His promise for the believers. He was truthful. So we have no single doubt that the Palestinians, the Muslims, are going to win against the Yahud. We do not have such doubt. No matter what they are showing us, we know that the ending result, wal aqibatu lil muttaqin wala udwana illa ala zalimin. We do not have such doubt. If the Muslims only were to follow what they are meant to follow, the victory of Allah will come. But if we continue to watch Manchester United, we continue to watch whatever, and we divide ourselves based on that, then we should not expect any victory soon. وَنَصَرَ عَبْدًا. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He assisted His servant. وَعَزَّ جُنْدًا. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He supported His army. وَهَزَّمَ الْأَحْزَابُ وَحْدًا. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He destroyed and splitted the people of Ahzab. Kama da Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet Islam, he prayed a dua, and this dua we should always pray it for the people of Palestine as well. Allah's messenger, he will pray that Allahumma munzil al-kitab, sari al-hisab, ikhzimul ahzab, Allahumma hzimuhum wa zalzilhum. Oh Allah, the revealer of the book, the one who is swift in taking account. Oh Allah, destroy these people who have come together to affect the Muslims. Oh Allah, destroy them and shake them. Disperse them. Qala Ibn Kathir in the tafsir of this verse, he said, فَصَلَّتَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ هَوَا فَرَّقَ شَمْلَهُ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He sent down upon them wind to scatter them. كَمَا كَانَ سَبَبُ إِجْتِمَاعِهِمْ مِنَ الْهَوَى. Because the reason why they have gathered together is upon desire. They come together, different tribes came together. Different ideology came together. Look at even the people who are fighting Muslims today. They are not having same ideology. But because Muslim is their common enemy, then they come together. تَحْسَبُهُمْ جَمِيعًا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ شَتَّى. They will come together, but their heart is different. Everyone is looking for what? For their own interest. So that is why Allah Azza wa Jalla, He sent upon them wind to go and what? Scatter them. وَرَدَّهُمْ هَائِبِينَ هَاسِرِينَ. They returned back defeated and being a loser. They were in their rage. لَمْ يَنَالُوا خَيْرًا. They could not what? They could not achieve any goodness in this battle. لَا فِي الدُّنْيَا وَلَا فِي الْآخِرَةِ. Not in this dunya and not also in the akhirah. Like I've told you, all what is happening in Palestine today, it has demonstrated, many people, didn't you see this particular Ramadan? Many were just entering Islam. Because people are now more interested. Why are they oppressing these people? Why are they oppressing them? So they are not going to be having or achieving any dunya benefit. مِمَّا كَانَ فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ مِنَ الظَّفْرِ وَالْمُغْنِمِ. In the fact that they are not going to achieve any ghanima, وَلَا فِي الْآخِرَةِ. And they are not also going to achieve anything in the akhirah. Look at when Israel, they want to calculate their benefits in this ongoing battle in Palestine. They are now saying that anywhere they have already marched to, that they are going to take hold of that place. They want to take another land. The Americans who are supporting them just now, may Allah Azza wa Jalla's cause be upon all of them. The Americans who are supporting them just now begin to say that no, you are only here to come and wipe away Hamas. You are not here to come and take any land. So you are not going to take any land. They are still dragging it. But because Israel is looking at, if we do not take land, what is now our benefit in this battle? Because the Hamas, what Hamas did was to what? To dig trench. Battle of Hondak again. What they did was they dig trench, and no matter how you throw bomb on them, it does not affect them because they are underground. They have their tunnel where they stay. They only come out of the tunnel and through and go back again. So how can you kill that kind of person? So they are looking at it that they cannot just pull out of this battle. And Hamas, who are the military wing in Gaza, they are still holding some of their people as prisoners. As prisoners. May Allah Azza wa Jalla disgrace them as He disgraced their forefathers. And they will not also have any achievement in the Akhirah. Why? Because of the sin that they have committed. Which sin did they commit? For them to have that effrontery to come and fight the messenger of God. Not just any messenger of God. The best of them, Muhammad Rasulullah. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever hold enmity, man addali waliyan, whoever hold enmity with my friend, with one whom I have taken as a friend, then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, I will announce war on that person. I wish they know who Rasulullah ﷺ is. They wouldn't have waged war on the Prophet ﷺ. I wish the Israelites know, the Americans know who the Ummah of Rasulullah is. They wouldn't have waged war on the Ummah of the Prophet. They have been saying that it is what? It is a fight against terrorism. For how many years? Getting to 30 years now, they are still saying they are fighting terrorism. Instead of them to come and say, we are fighting Islam. And up to today, the Muslims are still standing. They are still standing. They lose in Afghanistan. They lost. After how many years of occupation? They lost. In Iraq, they lost. Where are they again? They are going to lose in Palestine, inshallah. So they will not have anything in the dunya, Neither will they have anything in the Akhirah, because the person whom you are fighting is Muhammad Rasulullah. And the people whom you are fighting are the people of the Prophet. So if you want to fight, don't fight the people of the Prophet. Don't fight his ummah. Because if you do that, Allah will be angry with you, and Allah will raise his armies of angels to come and defend us. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to grant us protection. They intended to kill the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They intended to kill him. Even though they could not kill him, because وَمَنْ هَمَّ بِشَيْءٍ وَصَدَّقَ هَمُّهُ بِفِعْلِهِ. Whoever, Ibn Kathir said, whoever has intention of doing an action and he is so truthful in that action, فَهُوَ فِي الْحَقِيقَةِ كَفَائِلِهِ. Then in reality, it is as somebody who has actually done that. If somebody raise a sword that he wants to hit you, and at the end of the day you are able to what? Collect the sword from him. It is assuming, it is in reality that that person has actually killed you. Because having been you did not collect that sword from him, what would it have done? It will kill you. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْقِتَالِ. This is an indication that إِشَارَةٌ إِلَى وَدِئِ الْحَرْبِ بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَ قُرَيْشٍ. This is an indication that the war between the Quraysh and the Prophet ﷺ has come to an end. Allah said, وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْقِتَالِ. And that is what happened after this battle. لَمْ يَغُزُّهُمُ الْمُشْرِكُونَ. The Mushrikun, ever after the battle of Ahzab, they never fought Medina again. Because Allah has disgraced them. But rather what happened? غَزَّاهُمُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ فِي بِلَادِهِمْ. The Muslims now take the battle to their own land. Just imagine, a time will come, the Palestinians, they will mobilize their army and they will enter Israel. After they deal with Israelites, then they will go to America to go and finish them. A time will come. That time will come. And it is soon. So he said, وَلِهَذَا قَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَى اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ حِينَ أَجَلَّ الْأَحْزَابِ عَنْهُ. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ mentioned this. After these people of Ahzab had already gone, then the Prophet ﷺ said, الْآنَ نَغُزُّهُمْ وَلَا يَغُزُّونَنَا نَحْنُ نَسِيرُ إِلَيْهِ. He said, now we are going to be the one to be fighting them, and they will never have the audacity to come and fight us. We will be the one to go to them, and they will never come to us. And that is why after this battle, there was no time in the history of Islam that these people now came to what? Came to Medina. This particular hadith is reported by Imam Bukhari and Imam Ahmad. Then Allah said, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ قَوِيًّا عَزِيزًا. أي ذَا الْقُوَّةُ الْعَزِيمَةِ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He has power. Great power. فَلَا يُعَرِّضُ قُوَّتُهُ شَيْءٌ. And there is no one that could be able to face His power. The power of Allah Azza wa Jalla. How can you even go and fight whom you did not even see? The power of Allah Azza wa Jalla is irresistible. Al-Qahar. Allah is Al-Aziz. Azizan. Bimana, He is strong. Fi mulkihi wa sultanihi. In His authority and in His dominion. So Allah Azza wa Jalla has power. So look at what is happening in the Muslim world today. You might be wondering, if Allah has power, why hasn't He given the victory to the Muslims? The wisdom is best known to Allah Azza wa Jalla. He knows the reason. لِيَجْزِيَ اللَّهُ الصَّادِقِينَ عَنْ صِدْقِهِمْ وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ أَوْ يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ. Do you understand? May Allah Azza wa Jalla make us among those who will pass the test of Allah. Now the next verse.
وأنزل الذين ظاهروهم من أهل الكتاب من صياصيهم وقذف في قلوبهم الرعب فريقا تقتلون.
Remember I told you that there is Banu Qurayza. In the first day I told you about Banu Qurayza. Who did you say they are? Area 1. You have forgotten Area 1, ba? So those are the Munafiqun. The Yahudi, I didn't mean the people in Area 1 is Munafiqun. I'm only giving an example. So those people, they are Banu Qurayza, and I told you how they betrayed the trust of the Prophet Islam, despite the fact that they are also living in Medina, but they are Yahud. So Allah said, وَأَنزَلَ الَّذِينَ ظَهَرُوهُمْ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مِنْ صَيَاصِيهِمْ. That Allah Azza wa Jalla, He brought down who? Alladhina zaharuhum. Those are the people who supported them. They supported the Ahlul Kitab. They supported them in Ahlul Kitab. That is from the people of the scripture. Those people, the Banu Qurayza, they are the Ahlul Kitab. Those people who supported the Quraysh from the inside, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He brought them down, means Soyasihim, from their fortresses. From their fortresses. You know, I told you about that in the first day, that they surrounded themselves with fortress, a citadel, a fence. You understand? So Allah Azza wa Jalla, He bring them down. وَقَذَفَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الرُّعْبَ. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla, He strike them in their heart. He throw in their hearts what? A rob, terror. Allah casts terror inside their hearts. They begin to be scared. Fariqan taqtuluna wa ta'siruna fariqan. Some of them you kill. Wa ta'siruna fariqan. And some of them you took as what? As hostages. Some of them you took as captives. We will explain that. Wa awrasakum ardahum. We cause you to what? To inherit their land. Allah Azza wa Jalla calls the messenger to inherit. He makes the messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the companions to inherit the land of Banu Qurayza. Wa diyarahum, and their homes. Wa amwalahum, and their wealth. Wa ardan lam tatawuha, and another land that they have not even conquered, that they have not even achieved. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرًا. And Allah Azza wa Jalla, He has power over everything. After Allah Azza wa Jalla has informed us of what happened to the kuffar who came to attack Medina, and the fact that Allah Azza wa Jalla sent them back in their rage, and they could not achieve any goodness, they could not achieve any benefit, any good result in this battle, siwa haibatun wa husuran, except the fact that they achieved defeat, they achieved loss. Atba'u dhalika bi zikri ma awqahu bil ladina zaharuhu min ahli kitab. Allah Azza wa Jalla now followed it by mentioning what actually happened to those people who supported them from area 1, from the inside, min ahli kitab, from the people of the book. Wahum Banu Qurayza. They are the Banu Qurayza. Allah Azza wa Jalla is now mentioning those people who supported the people from outside. Allah now said, Wa anzala alladhina zaharum. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He humiliated, He humbled them, He bring them down. Those people who were supporting them. Wa anzala alladhina zaharul ahzab. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He bring those people who were supporting the people of Ahzab. A'anuhum wa nasiruhum ala nabi. They were supporting them, assisting them over the Prophet and his companions. These people of Ahlul Kitab, wahum Yahudu Banu Qurayza, and they are the Banu Qurayza, the Yahudi, alladhina lamma ja'at al-Ahzab. They are those people whom, when the people of Ahzab came, wa hasirul Medina, and they besieged Medina. They surrounded Medina. What did they do? Naqadul ahad. They broke their promise. Alladhi kana bainahum wa baina rasulillah. They promised the agreement, the covenant between them and the messenger, they broke it. وَذَلِكَ حِينَ جَاءَهُمْ Huyay bin Ahtab al-Nadri وَدَخَلَ حُسْنُهُمْ. That is at the time when this particular man called Huyay bin Ahtab, I mentioned him in the first day, how he entered the fortress of Banu Qurayza. He is from Banu Nadir. And he entered Banu Qurayza. وَلَمْ يَزَلْ يُسَيِّدُهُمْ كَعْبِ بِنْ أَسَدْ حَتَّى نَقَضَ الْعَهْدَ. And he was pestering him to break the promise between them and the messenger. And at the end of the day, they broke it. This particular information reaches the Prophet ﷺ, and it causes him so much harm, and also the Muslims as well. And that is why when the Prophet ﷺ, when he returned to Medina, being supported by Allah, and he was victorious, after the people of Ahzab has been sent back, humiliated, defeated, and lost in their rage, back to Makkah, Wawada Selam, the Muslims now drop their weapon. Let's listen to this. The Muslims drop their weapon. Amarahullahu bil Huruj. Allah Azza wa Jalla now send angel to come and meet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to command him to step out, ila Bani Qurayza, to move out and march to Banu Qurayza. I have mentioned this in details in the first day. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَقَذَفَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الرَّعْبَ. Allah casted in their heart terror. They begin to fear the Muslims. The best thing Allah Azza wa Jalla will give to you, if He wants to give you victory, He will make your enemy to be scared of you. He will make them to be scared of you. فَحَاسِرُوا بَنِي قُرَيْظَةَ. Then the Muslims now surrounded Banu Qurayza لِمُدَّةِ 20 يَوْمًا, for complete 20 days. حَتَّى أَلْقَى فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الْخَوْفُ الشَّدِيدُ, until they begin to be scared. Allah Azza wa Jalla casted in their heart great fear. What did they now do? فَاسْتَسْلِمُوا, they surrendered. They surrendered and they humbled themselves in humiliation, just as the Banu Nadir did before. When Allah Azza wa Jalla said regarding Banu Nadir, what did He say? وَالَّذِي أَخْرَجَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ لِأَوَّلِ الْعَشْرِ مَا ظَنَنْتُمْ أَنْ يَخْرُجُوا وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ مَانِعَتُهُمْ وُصُولُهُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ فَأَتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَمْ يَحْتَسِبُوا. Allah Azza wa Jalla is talking about the people of Banu Nadir. Their brother from outside, Banu Nadir. Allah said regarding them, هُوَ الَّذِي أَخْرَجَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ. He is the one who brought out the people of Ahl al-Kitab, those who disbelieve, from the people of the book, from their home. He brought them out of their home. Despite the fact that before this time they were making mouth that they cannot touch them. Allah bring them out of their home in the very beginning of the gathering. مَا ظَنَنْتُمْ أَنْ يَخْرُجُوا. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, you never thought that they were going to come out. وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ مَانِعَتُهُمْ وُصُولُهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ. They were thinking that their husun, their fortresses, are going to what? Are going to protect them from Allah Azza wa Jalla. فَأَتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَمْ يَحْتَسِبْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He came to them in a way that they do not expect it. وَقَذَفَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الرَّعْبَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla casted fear in their heart. يُغْرِبُونَ بُيُوتَهُمْ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ. And they were now destroying their homes with their own hands. وَأَيْدِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And by the hands of the believers. Allah said, فَأَتَبِرُوا يَا أُولِي الْأَبْصَارِ. فَأَتَبِرُوا يَا أُولِي الْأَبْصَارِ. Those people of inside should pick lessons. They should pick lessons from this. وَكَمَا فَعَلَ بِالْمُشْرِكِينَ يَوْمُ بَدْرٍ. The same thing Allah Azza wa Jalla also did to the mushrikun on the day of Badr, is yuha rabbuka ila al-malaikati anni ma'akum.
يوحى ربك إلى الملائكة أني معكم فثبتوا الذين آمنوا سألقي في قلوب الذين كفروا الرعب فاضربوا فوق الأعناق.
Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned what he did to the kuffar of Quraysh in the battle of Badr, the first battle in Islam. He said, "If you are Rabbuka," at the time, remember the time when Allah Azza wa Jalla, he revealed, he inspired the angels. Anni ma'akum. Allah said that I am with you. Fasabbitul ladina amanu. Give firmness to those people who believe. Sa'ulki fi qulubil ladina kafaru. I am going to cast in the heart of those people who disbelieve terror in the heart. وَإِذَا وَقَعَ الرُّعْبُ فِي الْقَلْبِ انْهَزَمَ صَاحِبُهُ مِنَ الدَّهِرِ. So if Allah Azza wa Jalla, if fear should engulf the heart, then the one who is already terrified, then you can easily be defeated. You understand? You can easily be defeated. If fear has already engulfed your heart before going into fight, you can easily be defeated. In fact, there is no worst defeat that could happen to an enemy more than what? More than the fact that he's already scared of his opponent. That is why the Prophet ﷺ said, among the things I have been given is what? Nusirtu birru'bi masirati shahr. I have been given, I have been supported with robe, that my enemy will be so much in terror and fear of me in a journey of a month. You are going to meet the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah Azza wa Jalla will cast terror on you before you even go to where he is. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Allah said, Fariqan taqtulun. A group from them you killed. Ay fariqan taqtulunahum wa hum rijalul muqattilun. Allah's messenger at the end of the day, I think I mentioned it in the first beginning, how they ended up and agreed that is it Sa'ad? Sa'ad bin Mu'az should be the one to what? To judge between them. And Sa'ad bin Mu'az, he now what? He now judged that their men should be killed because they are going to steal what? If left alone, they will still betray again. So Allah's messenger ordered that all of their men who are fighters, who were planning to kill the Muslims, all of them should be sentenced to death. وَقَدْ بَلَّغَ عَدَدُهُمْ نَحْوُ سَبْعُ مِئَةَ رَجُلٍ. And it was recorded that their numbers was up to what? Was up to 70 men. وَتَاسِرُونَ فَرِيقًا. Then some of them you hold in captive. And those are the women and the little children that has not reached the age of maturity. 700. Sorry, I made a mistake. I was saying 70. No, 700 is 700. 700 of them were sentenced to what? Were sentenced to death because of their betrayal. Hadn't been you leave them, they will still betray you again. And Allah Azza wa Jalla continue to say, wa awrasakum
وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرًا.
Allah Azza wa Jalla said, wa awrasakum ardahum. Allah said, we cause you to what? To inherit their land and their homes, their wealth and their what? And their land. The land that you have not been able to achieve. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرًا. أي مَلَّكَكُمْ أَرْضَهُمْ وَدِيَارَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ وَجَعَلَهَا غَنِيمَةٌ لَكُمْ. وَجَعَلَهَا غَنِيمَةٌ لَكُمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, we made you to what? To achieve their land and their homes and their wealth as ghanima, as part of war booty that you achieve in this battle. وَالْأَرْض أَعَمُّ مِنَ الدِّيَارِ وَالدِّيَارِ جَمْعُ الدَّارِ وَهِيَ الْمَسَاكِنِ وَالْأَحْيَاءِ. So Allah Azza wa Jalla caused them to what? To achieve the homes of these unbelievers, traitors, and their wealth, and all that they have of what? Of properties, and their daraim wa dinanir, their money was taken from them, and even their animals, their farms was taken from them, and other things that they possess. Wa ardan lam tatawuha, and another land which Allah Azza wa Jalla said, and you are going to what? Inherit another land which you have not yet achieved. This is another promise Allah is giving them. Wa hiya ardu Bani Qurayza. It was said that it is what? It is the land of Banu Qurayza. وَيَعْتَمِلْ أَنَّ مُرَادُ بِقَوْلِ وَأَرْضًا لَمْ تَطَوْهَا أَرْضًا يَفْتَوْهَا الْمُسْلِمُونَ بَعْدُ. It was said by some of the Mufassirun that it is the other lands that the Muslims later what? Achieve after they have already achieved Banu Qurayza. Some of the Mufassirun said it was the land of Haybar that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was able to achieve in the 7th year of the Hijrah. Some of them said it was Makkah, the land that the Prophet, that Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying here, wa ardan lam tatawuha, the land which you have not been able to achieve yet is the land of Makkah, which you are going to achieve. Some of the Mufassirun said it is the land of the Persian Empire. Some of them said, in fact, it is all that we have mentioned, all of the above. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla ended this particular verse by telling us that Allah Azza wa Jalla ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He has power over everything. He has power, He has the ability to do anything if He wishes to do it. فَلَا يُجِزُهُ شَيْءٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي السَّمَاءِ. There is nothing that is so strong that Allah Azza wa Jalla will not be able to do, whether in this dunya or the akhirah, whether it is here or in the heaven. There is nothing that Allah Azza wa Jalla cannot do. So that is why we are hopeful and we beg Allah Azza wa Jalla to come to the aid of our Muslim brothers in Palestine, and also to come to our relief. The Democratiyun, they have hold us by the neck and they are struggling us. We are dying. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to grant us relief. It is only Allah Azza wa Jalla that can come to our aid. وَقَفَ اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْقِتَالِ. Allah Azza wa Jalla is sufficient for the believers in their battles. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to take up our fight and fight our enemies and defeat them for us. فَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.